Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our news tonight, a developing story from up in Manatee County where a death investigation is underway tonight after a body was found near a major roadway. The Bradenton Police Department calling this a suspicious death investigation along State Road 64 East in Bradenton. At this time, the identity of the person whose body was discovered has not yet been released. The medical examiner's office is working to determine the cause of death. New tonight, a woman suspected of murdering a Bradenton resident and stealing her identity is back in the state. Lois Reese making her first court appearance today in Lee County, Florida. Reese was caught in Texas near the Mexico border last week. She had been on the run since late March when her husband, David Reese, was found fatally shot at their home in Minnesota. From there, investigators believe she made her way south, befriending a Bradenton woman, Pamela Hutchinson, on Fort Myers Beach before murdering her to assume her identity. Hutchinson's family now looking for justice.
Lois, did you kill Pamela Hutchinson? If so, why did you do it?
I'm just glad she's somewhere she's not going to be able to feed that addiction by killing people and stealing from people.
Reese has been denied bond until a pretrial detention hearing happens in the next 5 days. An arraignment hearing is scheduled for May 29th. And for the latest on those two developing stories and other breaking news in our area, we'll have up-to-the-minute updates on our news app. You can download that app from your app store. Just look for it under WWSB or My Suncoast. Well, tourism drives our state's economy, but sports tourism is a growing industry as well, especially in youth sports. Manatee County's newly acquired Premier Sports Complex hosting its largest soccer tournament of the year this weekend. ABC 7's Erica Jackson is here to tell us what it means in terms of return on that investment. Erica?
Adam, thank you. 284 teams from as far as Haiti came to the Suncoast for this tournament. In other words, that's more than 16,000 global tourists in one weekend, spending money on food and hotels and checking out what the Suncoast has to offer. Go Tristan! Toy Stauffer traveled from Palm Beach Gardens to cheer for her son's soccer team. She calls the Premier Sports Campus one of her favorite venues for tournaments.
It's huge. The fields are phenomenal. And there's just a lot going on. This is very, very well organized.
They're here this weekend, not just for the soccer. Most families make the vacation out of it.
Premier Sports Campus General Manager Antonio Sevillano says the Sarasota Cup is one of the facility's biggest tournaments to date. It's one of the reasons why Manatee County purchased the land last year for $5.2 million.
Overall, it's an economic impact that you just really can't put a price on it.
But if you were to put a price on it, the number would be 7 digits long. Tourism officials expect the impact from this tournament alone to be $8 million, thanks to families like the Stauffers, who are spending on lodging, food, and activities before heading home.
We did some fundraising, but had we not done the fundraising, I'd say it's probably about $1,000, maybe a little bit more weekend.
The annual economic impact of sports tourism in Manatee County is an estimated $150 million. Elliot Falcione is the director of the Bradenton Area Visitors Bureau. He says the Premier Sports Campus brings in those big bucks, along with IMG Academy, the Ellenton Ice Complex, and Lecom Park, where Pittsburgh Pirates spring training brings in $36 million in less than 2 months.
We're well versed. We have some of the elite facilities in the state of Florida right here in Manatee County.
Then Falcione says sports families help market the area to their friends.
If anyone is on the fence about coming to this tournament at some point in the year, do it.
The Bradenton Area Visitors Bureau says 94% of first-time visitors return within 11 months. So far this year, the area is on track to beat last year's record-breaking tourism numbers by 2 to 4%. Adam?
All right, Erica, thank you very much. In other news, a boil water advisory remains in effect for some Bradenton customers tonight following a water main break that happened earlier this weekend. That advisory affecting customers along 53rd Avenue East between 68th Street East and 71st Street East in Bradenton. Until that advisory is lifted, those who are living in the area are asked to boil all of their drinking and cooking water for at least 1 minute as a precaution. Well, now let's take it over to Wendy Ross for a check on our first alert weather tonight. And Wendy, a nice day to have a soccer tournament.
It was just another perfect day. It's been a phenomenal weekend weather-wise. We have a boundary, a frontal boundary that's right here. You can see it just disappearing right now in the last frames. But this is a frontal system that came on through the area. Of course, you wouldn't have known it because there was no change in the weather. We really didn't see anything other than maybe some puffy clouds for a very short period of time. And right now, we're just looking at fair skies across the region. We don't have any rain to show you, and temperatures are still very mild at this hour. Readings are slightly cooler right along the beaches, Longboat Key, Venice, and Englewood. But as soon as you get onto the mainland, we are looking at temperatures in the low to mid 80s, still temperatures in the upper 80s, well over the central part of the state. So this is what happens when you get very close to that month of May. We are seeing, of course, these temperatures that are going to continue to drop for the next couple of hours. Right now at the airport, it's 80 degrees. Dew point humidity levels still quite low. The winds are coming in out of the northwest at 14 miles per hour, but plenty of sunshine at this hour. We'll let you know what we can expect for this upcoming work week in just a minute. Adam?
All right, thank you, Wendy. The Secretary of State giving his first interview this morning since meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Mike Pompeo discussing
this administration
the importance of those images of Kim Jong-un stepping into South Korea and reiterating President Trump's position that the U.S. will continue to keep pressure on the socialist state.
This administration has its eyes wide open. We know the history. We know the risks. We're not going to take promises. We're not going to take words. We're going to look for actions and deeds.
In his first foreign trip since being sworn in, Secretary Pompeo meeting with the Saudi foreign minister, calling for unity in the Gulf region. He then traveled to Israel for a meeting with the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, calling Israel an important partner. Secretary Pompeo indicating the U.S. would pull out of the Iran nuclear deal if it is not renegotiated. And now to an indication of trouble at the U.S. border. That's what President Donald Trump is saying tonight after migrants from Central America have arrived at our border seeking asylum. ABC's Richard Cantu brings us the latest on their fate.
Hundreds of Central Americans have arrived at the U.S.-Mexico border after a nearly month-long journey, stopping in Tijuana before turning themselves in to U.S. Customs agents seeking asylum. This woman says they are seeking a better life for their children, that it's out of their hands to solve the problems in their country. Some doubt those claims.
It is a scam because if they really wanted asylum, they would have claimed asylum in Mexico.
Activists from March Without Borders made the 143-mile march from Los Angeles in support of those migrants.
It is their right to live a life free of violence, and it is their right to seek a better home for themselves and their families.
President Trump believes this caravan is a threat to the U.S. He has been tracking the group, made up of mostly women and children, since they began the trek in late March.
We believe that a strong nation must have strong borders. Are you watching that mess that's going on right now with the caravan coming up? Are you watching this? And our laws are so weak.
American lawyers have been offering free legal support and guidance to members of the caravan in Tijuana and say not all in the group plan to seek asylum. Border Patrol agents say some have been climbing a metal border fence and entering the U.S. illegally. Richard Cantu, ABC News, New York.
The White House's push to weaken offshore oil drilling regulations is also facing some renewed backlash this weekend. Florida leaders on both sides of the political aisle denouncing that proposal, pointing at the economic damage that the deadly 2010 Deepwater Horizon explosion and oil spill inflicted on the state's tourism industry and environment, and questioning if the risk is worth reducing safety regulations. This as supporters of that move say less regulations could reduce unnecessary regulatory burdens while ensuring safety and environmental responsibility. Local U.S. Representative Vern Buchanan calling that plan, quote, reckless and unacceptable, asking in a prepared statement, have we learned nothing from the worst environmental disaster in American history? These safeguards should remain in place. Should a highly debated constitutional amendment make it onto November's ballot? There are an estimated 600,000 convicted felons who could have their voting rights restored if it is approved. The move to put that decision up to voters coming less than 24 hours after an appellate court decided to block a federal judge's order this week. That judge calling the state's current laws, quote, unconstitutional, and issuing a ruling that would have required the state to overhaul its current process.
There are prescribed sentences for the crimes for which these people were convicted. When they complete those sentences, there's at least a reasonable expectation that they can re-enter society, and that's just not happening in Florida.
To pass, Amendment 4 would need more than 60% of voter approval. Well, looking to reshape the U.S. wireless landscape, T-Mobile and Sprint once again trying to combine in an effort to bring competition down to 3 major cell phone companies. The deal announced Sunday would help the companies slash costs and could make them a stronger competitor to AT&T and Verizon. But that may not be the best for their customers' wallets, as consumers might see higher prices as a result of less promotions. The proposed all-stock deal values the combined company at $146 billion. Well, still to come here on ABC 7, Wendy Ross will be back with your first alert weather forecast for the work week ahead. Plus, could the city of Venice be getting its own ambulance service, where a proposal currently stands, and the latest patient safety rating for Venice Regional Bayfront Health.
I work hard all day, and this is why. But taking care of my money has never been easy. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, making it easy to keep track of my money and pay my bills on time.
Here's to the strong, to the dependable, to the trusted. Your family counts on you. Who can you count on? The Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. With direct deposit, you can get your paycheck or government payments up to 2 days faster.
I don't have time to wait for a paycheck, cash it, and then run around and pay bills. Brinks knows what's valuable to me: time.
Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no cost to order and no credit check. Load money onto your card and then shop online, pay bills, buy groceries.
I get a text alert every time our card is used, so we always know our balance.
And we're protected from unauthorized transactions. Brinks gives us peace of mind.
With Brinks, you can conveniently manage your money online and with the mobile app.
I get cash back on everyday purchases. Brinks knows what's valuable to me: saving money.
Plus, you can load checks in minutes, anywhere with mobile check load. Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no credit check and no cost to order. And with a qualifying direct deposit, we'll upgrade you to Brinks Preferred with extra benefits. And in this TV-only offer, personalize your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard with your photo for added security. Manage your money on the go, anywhere, and get the peace of mind you deserve. Brinks knows what's valuable to you. Call right now to order your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard.
Call 1-800-282-9643.
There's no cost to order. Call now.
Each day, researchers make discoveries that bring us closer to the moment when all cancer patients can become survivors. Their progress is made possible with the help of clinical trials. Clinical trials are the brightest torch researchers have to light their way towards better treatments. And if you've been diagnosed with cancer, they may be your brightest ray of hope. Speak with your doctor and visit standuptocancer.org/clinical trials to learn more. Together, we can stand up for all of us.
After 3 years of average or below average safety grades, Venice Regional Bayfront Health has moved up in the rankings. That's according to the Leapfrog Group, a nonprofit organization that compiles and analyzes healthcare data. The latest hospital safety grade for Venice Regional is a B. And while that's still not the grade the hospital administrators want, it is an improvement following a C last spring and fall and a D back in 2016. The bump in rating comes as a result of the strides the hospital has made lowering infection rates. However, the facility remained low on the treatment of patients with collapsed lungs and serious breathing problems. The City of Venice also looking at providing its own ambulance service. That's after this week the City Council directed staff to come up with a plan to see what an in-house ambulance service would look like. Currently, Sarasota County paramedics are housed in city fire department buildings and respond when needed. If the city had its own ambulance approved, it could take 2 to 3 years to implement and another 6 months to staff. Money is also a factor in that plan, with an estimated $2 million needed to make it happen. But as they say about these things, it's hard to put a price on it when it comes to saving lives. So still a good investment, I'm sure, either way.
Well, we had spectacular weather. It's been fun to see all these stories that we've done with all the different sporting events and everything taking place. It was just a great day to be outdoors. A lot of people thanked me for the lower humidity, low dew point. Yeah, it felt really nice out.
Did you accept that thank you?
I always say thank you. I always say thank you for thanking me, yes. So we are looking at fair skies that we had from the beginning of the day until the end of the day. It was just a spectacular one all across the region, but this is looking across at Sarasota Baycam, showing the Ringling School, or the Ringling Bridge, and it was just a lovely day. Sunny weather, that's what we saw throughout the day. That's what we're going to see for many more days to come. Warm temperatures, and we get that east northeasterly wind, and that's going to factor in for us because it's really going to help us as far as our temperatures are concerned, keeping them on the high side. So what we're looking at is we've got low pressure right here. That's producing the rain, the snow, the icy conditions across the northeast, and then we have this trailing front that actually came down into the state of Florida, and so this frontal system is pretty much washed out across our area, and we're not looking at a whole lot of anything taking place across the southeast because high pressure is prevailing here, and then we've got a little bit of rain and wet weather across the northern plains states. So that's happening as a result of another low pressure system and a trailing cold front there. But we've had the frontal system here that's gone through our state. We're starting to see a few showers well to the south, and those are being brought in by the sea breeze, but we don't have anything going on as far as wet weather here along the Sun Coast, and we're not going to see any. The chance for rain is 0% all the way through the morning hours tomorrow, and we're not even going to see a cloud in the sky for the most part. So winds right now coming in out of the northwest, and then they're going to start to shift around and come in out of the northeast tomorrow. That will help to warm us up over the next couple of days as we see these winds shifting around, and everyone is going to experience it from the coastline all the way into the interior sections. And what we're looking at, of course, are winds have died down dramatically. We're looking at winds that are a little stronger at the beaches, and as you move inland, they're not quite as strong. This is true down through Placido. We're looking at 14, 13 mile per hour winds and pretty much consistent winds all the way into the interior sections. That high pressure system sitting across the southeast, that is going to be our dominant feature over the next couple of days. It is slowly going to drift in to the western Atlantic, and the frontal system that we're seeing right here is going to sink on down to the south, and then it's just going to become diffuse. We're not really going to be experiencing much in the way of anything with that cold front. And as a matter of fact, down to our south, we're getting some showers, but they're going to dissipate as well. And over the next couple of days, you'll notice that most of this weather is going to be coming from the east coast, moving over to the west coast. A couple of showers along the east coast don't hold together, and so consequently, we're not going to see rain for this upcoming week. What we are looking at are temperatures that are right now in the 80s, and many places reporting temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, even at this this hour. 83 degrees was our daytime high officially at the airport, 61 the overnight low, right where we're supposed to be, really a little cooler for the overnight time period. And for boaters, winds will be out of the east-northeast, 10 to 15 knots tomorrow with seas 1 to 2 feet and a moderate chop out on the bay and inland waters. All we're going to see this week is sunshine. Temperatures are going to be right here in the mid to upper 80s all week long. The best chance for rain may be on Sunday with about a 15% chance at this point. So it's going to be nice and quiet as we move into the month of May. Adam?
Now, sports.
Well, in March and part of April, the Rays couldn't win, but at the end of April, they can't lose, going for their 9th straight win against Boston today. Tied at 3 in the 8th inning, Alex Colomé trying to get that third out, but Sandy Leon shoots one just fair up that left field line. JD Martinez scoring from second. They take a 1-run lead. The Rays get 2 men in scoring position in the 9th. But Craig Kimbrell striking out the side. The Rays win streak ending at 8. Colomé's 3rd loss of the year, and the Rays head to Detroit tomorrow to take on the Tigers. It was win or go home for the Cleveland Cavaliers and Indiana Pacers, possibly LeBron's last game in Cleveland before he tests free agency. The King refusing to go down easy. He dropped 26 points in the first half, played over 40 minutes in the game, and finished with 45 points. Now on his one break of the game, getting some much-needed help from Kevin Love, who had 4 3-pointers in this one. The Cavs win this series, and here's head coach Ty Lue on Bron's 45-point performance.
It's hard to put into words, but, you know, that's why he's the best player on the planet. He put us on his back.
He sure did. LeBron James' team's now 13-0 in first-round playoff series. Cleveland will face the 1-seeded Raptors next, and Game 1 is Tuesday. The Tampa Bay Lightning had a grueling day of practice on Sunday, according to multiple reports, one day after that 6-2 blowout loss to the Boston Bruins. Head coach John Cooper says he wanted to make sure his team at least matched the Bruins' effort in Game 2.
Our game was not at the playoff level like the other team that had just played in Game 7. And that's what we have to bring tomorrow night.
Obviously, when you have a game like we did where we didn't think the effort was great, whether it's regular season, playoffs, usually come out and have a good practice. So I don't think it's out of the norm, no.
By John Cooper.
Game 2 is tomorrow night at 7 o'clock in Tampa. The Lightning's only win against Boston this year was in their final meeting of the regular season. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991. Now, in one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
Dear parents, it's time for a pop quiz. What's the best kind of play for kids? Play that makes us think? Or helps us pretend? Or teaches us rules? Or to be creative? Actually, every kind of play is important because different kinds of play give us different kinds of skills. Help us mix up the ways we play. Okay, class dismissed. Now go play.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Renewed efforts to restore the Great Barrier Reef in Australia are underway overseas tonight. The Australian government pledging $500 million to restore and protect that reef. It is the largest ever single investment to protect the area, which is considered the largest living thing on Earth. That reef contributes over $6 billion annually to Australia's economy. Wow. Something we can certainly sympathize with here in Florida. Got those reefs near the Keys and stuff like that. Huge for divers and stuff, and they've changed over time if you don't take care of them.
No, that's very true. What an investment. That's really
$500 million.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, good for them. And we're looking at some pretty great weather for tonight into tomorrow. You can see all of these temperatures staying right around that 86, 88 degrees and lots of sunshine.
Well, that's something to look forward to on a Monday, right?
Yes.
A nice, beautiful
It's
day.
Beautiful.
Everyone's buzzing about Suncoast View.
I like watching the Suncoast View.
I like the Suncoast View.
The cooking segments, I love the recipes. The theater segments are terrific.
Join Stephanie Roberts, Linda Carson, and special guests on Suncoast View for hot topics, everyday issues, celebrities, food, fashion, fitness, and everything in between. Nothing is off limits.
They're just fun.
For smart, fun talk in the afternoon, watch Suncoast View, weekdays at 4 on ABC 7.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC 7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com.